Everywhere I went, I was told, no, you can't provide abortion care. And it was not for any laws. It was not for any reason other than administrative, political reasoning. I was told, we don't want the protesters. We don't want to deal with any of that. And that theme continued throughout my entire medical career until I moved to Alabama. It was so amazing. I was in an independent clinic. I was able to call the shots, saying, "This is how we're gonna do this." I didn't have any of that red tape ridiculousness. I could provide the healthcare that people needed in the way that was evidence-based, up to date, good quality healthcare, and it was liberating. I moved to Alabama, and I was liberated. It was any other day, maybe a Wednesday, I think, and it was mid-morning. I had a patient come in who was bleeding, and she clearly had some, um, early pregnancy complication, and she was bleeding, and she needed an aspiration. It's what we call an incomplete abortion. And so once I was done, she was like, "Oh my gosh, so much better. Am I going to stop bleeding now?" And I said, "Of course, yes. You'll have some spotting." And she's just very grateful, and I felt super good about helping her. And I walk out of the room to do my charting, and one of the staff members said, "The state is here." I said, "Okay." And so I walked into the back, and these two men in suits walked to the back office, and we sat in the office, and they said, "We are suspending your temporary license and denying your application for your medical license. We will need you to sign here and hand over your license." I looked at them and I said, "Is there a reason for this?" And they said, "It's all in the paperwork." And apparently they had actually arrived while I was in the room with that patient. I always think about if they had just been 5 minutes different, 5 minutes earlier, that patient would have continued bleeding, maybe gotten an infection. Who knows? I wouldn't have been able to help her. I think I tallied that day 144 people that did not get care that needed care in the next few days because of that single action. They wanted me to leave. They wanted to financially make me unable to stay. And why did they want me to leave? Because they disagree with abortion care. They reject it as an aspect of healthcare. They reject the fact that abortion is healthcare. I got my license back after 7 months. um, and an ethics course, a 2-day ethics course that I was required to take, as well as paying the state $4,000. I learned that it doesn't matter what you do, those in power can do whatever they want to you and your career. They can destroy you if they want to. They will make up a reason. And now I have to, on every application, say, yes, there is a state board that took an action against my license. Here's what happened. I have to answer yes to that question on every application for any license, on any application for any job. They knew what they were doing. And that was okay. They are still sleeping at night. And my, constitutional rights were trampled over, but at least I got my license back. It's, I feel like a whole nother level when it's an official government stance. like on paper, where sure in practice we're discriminated against and in practice there's all this impression, but like now it's just like you may be oppressed and we are putting you in this sub citizen second class citizen class. Now you are less than. Here it is, signed, your governor. In addition to the fact that they've declared my training and education as criminal, not only, bad, but a class A felony for the 10 years of education and training I performed beyond college. Overnight. Overnight. It's been interesting because people are still calling asking for abortion care. So there are people that still don't know that abortion is illegal in Alabama. In the reality that we live, healthcare providers who are licensed and trained in healthcare provision are asking attorneys who are not licensed in healthcare how to do their jobs. We are being silenced, and it's systematic. And in the midst of all of this silencing, our hands are being tied behind our backs when it comes to patient care. And this is what Dobbs has put us in. The administration, many of whom do not have any healthcare training, telling the healthcare providers what they can and can't do because of legal issues, and patients just being at the whim of whatever interpretation of the law is being made in that minute. And that is not medicine. That is not healthcare. I'm not going to be someone who says, "Oh, I was afraid of getting arrested, but that person died." That's not something I can tolerate. That's not something I will tolerate. Too many lives are at stake to be silent, to not tell my story, to not have it heard. And so, yeah, it's actually a civic duty, if not a human responsibility, to speak out and keep speaking and not be silenced.